What up, y'all? It's your boy Martine, aka the Boxing Purist. Welcome once again to the Truth and Absolute channel, where I speak the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me, good God Almighty. All right, y'all. Now listen, it's been a few days. Your boy has been sick. All right, your boy has been sick since it started in the beginning of last week. I kind of thought I got past it. You know how we do it, man. We slam the vitamin C, we drink the orange juice, and feel like we got it. We made it past. So yes, we dodged this one. Well, guess what? No. As you get older, man, those little colds or whatever, they don't just bounce off of you anymore. They like to hang around for a little bit. And oh my gosh, your boy was down for a minute. Let me tell y'all something really quick. I was trying to make a video after this last Saturday night's pay-per-view event with the Fandora, Tim Tszyu, Rolly, and Pitbull. And, I made the video and then I watched it and I'm like, nah, I can't put this out. I can't put this out. There's some of you dudes that already think that I'm high as I'm making the video. If y'all would have seen me all medicined up, all messed up looking in the face, y'all would have been for sure like, this dude's a liar. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, whatever, I'll put it away. But now I'm back and I'm ready to keep going, y'all. Now listen, now that y'all heard all that, if this is your first time in my channel, welcome to my channel. Thank you for your time. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button before you get up out of here. Hit that like button, the dislike button. It's all love. Drop a comment down below. Let's talk boxing. That's what we do around here. If you've been subscribed, hey, yo, thank you guys for the love. Thank you guys for supporting my channel. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. To me, that's a big, big deal. And yo, I thank all of you guys. Now, let's get into it. But before I get into the video and talk about last night, or not last night, but this last Saturday's night, big boxing event, I just want to breaking news out there for you, right? So I guess that there was car problems for Rolly Malignaggi, right? I guess his car wasn't starting, and I guess he came down to it. And the reason his car wasn't starting is because Canelo doesn't want to fight Benavidez, so it messed up Rolly Malignaggi's car. Petty, I know. I just had to throw that out there, man. If that guy just doesn't stop talking about Canelo, I might as well add to it, Anyway, so now let's talk about this last Saturday night pay-per-view event with, of course, Tim Tszyu headlining the card with the giant, the monster, the 6'6", Sebastian Fandora, and Mr. Rolly Romero versus Issac pitbull Cruz. That little chihuahua had some bark, didn't he, Rolly? So anyway, let's start off with the undercard first, which was Rolly against Issac pitbull Cruz. Now, jumping into this fight, when you think about a fight, you think about the strengths of the fighters. You know what you're going to get with Pitbull. You know he's going to come forward. You know he's ready to knock your head off. You know that he's just going to be aggression, straight up and down, coming straight at you, relentless, right? With Rolly, you don't really know what you're going to get because it's hard to see Rolly inside the ring. We see how he fight against Tank, right? He's a fighter. We saw his last fight against that older dude, in which he didn't look too great. And then we seen him working out. There was a lot of videos leading up to this fight of Rolly doing some training where he looked half decent in training. And what I mean by that, he looked like he was actually getting some skills down, actually getting the fundamentals of boxing down, because Rolly is a fighter, you know what I'm saying? He has a background in jiu-jitsu. He obviously is a boxer. So the kid's an athlete. He's a fighter. You could tell so in his physique. But inside that boxing ring, he's not that experienced. And he got these big fights way too early in his career because he spoke them into existence. Now, that being said, I was kind of like, okay, Rolly is the bigger fighter. Maybe he could land something on Cruz. But then something that we forget, guys, is that styles make fights. Now, if you saw the fight, you know that Rolly looked way better against Tank than he did against Pitbull Cruz. That doesn't mean that Pitbull Cruz is a better fighter than Tank. It just has everything to do with styles. Now, someone like Pitbull Cruz, when you got him coming in front of you, you have to be able to fight going backwards. You have to be able to hit angles. You have to be able to counter. You have to be able to slow him down somehow and neutralize his strong attacks. Rolly wasn't doing so. Rolly was just allowing himself to get, chased around the ring the whole time. At no time did he try to go forward. And I'm not saying trade with Pitbull because that's his strength, but change it up. Press him forward. Go forward. Rolly I don't think has enough in the arsenal to do all of that. And I mean, Issac Cruz just went off on him. I mean, he almost had Rolly out of there in the first round. If you guys saw the fight, he pretty much had his way with Rolly, man. Rolly at this point, it'd be good for Rolly to take some steps back. Now, I know that's a lot to ask a fighter who's making big money inside that ring, but Rolly should have never been at this level fighting anyways. You know, he had a name behind him. Rolly, you know, he spoke his name into existence. That sparring video with Ryan Garcia really helped elevate his popularity. And to be honest, PBC, Floyd, all them dudes just ran with it. Even matching him up against Tank, he wasn't necessarily worthy of a Tank fight. He didn't necessarily pose a threat inside of that ring. What it was a smart business move because now Rolly's known. Let's throw Tank in there with a known fighter. A lot of y'all gave him praise for that and all of that. Nonetheless, Rolly should have never been in there. He didn't even earn his way up in there, other than his mouth, which again, I've said in the past, he's entertaining. But from here, I don't know where Rolly goes, man. He's not going to beat no one at 140, 135 to 140 unless he goes down, down, down. Like, I don't know, maybe the winner of Lomachenko-Kambosos? I mean, I don't know, but it's not looking bright for Rolly. As far as Issac Cruz, he got the belt at 140, and he's saying, yo, I got the belt to back it up. Give me anyone at 140. We'll see how true to his word he is. I know last time he got called out by Shakur. He didn't answer. I think even Ryan called him out about a year ago. No answer. But now that he has a belt, let's see what he wants to do with it. You know what I mean? Now, let's talk about the main event, which, it was so unfortunate in my book, the main event. I feel like it's going to be either two things. Either we got robbed of what could have been of that fight, or it was nothing but a little, hump in the road to better things coming in the 154-pound division. And what I mean by that is we all saw Tim Tszyu. He got that nasty gash on the top of his head, which didn't allow him to be 100% Tim Tszyu inside that ring. That you can't argue that. He was constantly wiping the blood off of his face. As it is, he was facing a tough task in Sebastian Fandora, who is 6'6", has an 80-inch wingspan. I mean, what is he, 14 knockouts, 21 wins, 1 loss, coming by knockout. To prep for a guy like Fandora with 11, 12 days heads up, in my opinion, at that level, you respect taking the risk, but at the same time, you're biting off a little bit more than you could chew at that level because now these things happen. We were already talking about a possible Tszyu versus Bud or whoever at 54. Now, the plans have changed. Now, looking at the fight, it was obvious that Fandora was going to have to remain disciplined in this fight and box. Don't try to trade with Tim Tszyu. Don't try to do none of the above. Use your wingspan. Keep throwing those little punches out. Keep them at distance and don't give into it. You know what I'm saying? He did just that, and of course, he had the help on his back of Tim Tszyu bleeding in the face. Now, Fandora was also bleeding on the nose, which could mess up his breathing. Nonetheless, the guy could see. You know what I'm saying? Now, with all that being done, with all that being said, what I did see, although Tim Tszyu, it was hard for him to get a Fandora, you could see when he was getting inside and throwing those straight shots, looking to land a heavy one on Fandora, 11, 12 days, whatever it is that he had to prep for that fight was not enough. The cut on top of his head is almost a blessing because let me tell y'all something. In a rematch, it's going to look like a whole different fight. On this one, we're going to go back to it was the bleeding on top of Tim Tszyu's head. We're going to keep on blaming it on that. We're going to use that as an excuse, and it's semi-valid. But what I saw is that he did not know how to get to Sebastian Fandora in the ring. Obviously, in a rematch, when you prep for a fighter like that, it'll change the outcome of the fight. Now, it's not what we expected. What else we didn't expect, at least I didn't, was Errol Spence to be in there talking about I got next. Because we all knew and we all heard that Bud had next, the winner of this. Now, this is where it makes things interesting. First of all, Spence looks like he's about to go fight Anthony Joshua. The boy's looking big. He's eating good right now. It's the off season, I guess we could say, right? Super off season. So obviously he goes in there and he says to Fandora, I got next. Now, Fandora came out and said, that's a cool fight and all, but Terrence Crawford was supposed to be next. Now, these are possibilities that could happen. One, they could very well go Fandora, Tim Tszyu rematch. It's an option. I know it has to be an option to be thrown in there. Or you could make a Fandora versus, a Spence. Let's just say you make it versus Spence because it's a bigger money fight than a fight with Crawford. And you could have Crawford fight Tim Tszyu with the winner ultimately meeting with each other at 154 pounds, kind of like a little mini tournament at 154 pounds. I don't know if Spence will want any of Bud Crawford. I don't think he will. I think mentally, Bud just has him super defeated. But nonetheless, we shall see. So it was a huge turn of events. And the thing is, Fandora matching up against someone like Spence would be fairly interesting because I think Spence will get inside on him. Against a Crawford's just too slick, man. Crawford's just too slick. You're not going to fight Crawford off like that, just jabbing him up like that. I don't think that'll be enough to beat someone like Crawford if they were to fight. So as far as the matchups, they're not as interesting. The same thing with Tim Tszyu. I think Tim Tszyu versus Spence would be a hell of a fight. I think it would be a hell of an entertaining fight. Tim Tszyu against someone like Crawford, I see it playing out kind of like the Sean Porter fight. You know what I'm saying? If it goes that way. But nonetheless, I'm talking way in the future, man. So let me know what you guys think about this weekend's fights. Were you surprised at anything besides the cut on Tim Tszyu's head? Did you guys like the events? I thought the card was entertaining nonetheless. We'll see what comes forward from this. You know what I'm saying? So drop a comment down below. Let's talk boxing. It's great to talk to y'all again. Much love. God bless. And remember, the truth shall set you free. Peace.